Lana Turner rose to fame in the 1940s and became one of MGM's top stars, known for her beauty and dramatic performances. She appeared in films such as The Postman Always Rings Twice and Peyton Place. Turner's personal life was often as dramatic as her movies, filled with high-profile romances and scandals. In her later years, she continued to act in television and stage productions. She passed away at 74, remembered as both a glamour queen and a talented actress. Anthony Quinn built a remarkable career portraying characters from many different cultures. He won 2 Academy Awards for Viva Zapata and Lust for Life, and became famous for his role in Zorba the Greek. Known for his physical energy and passionate performances, Quinn worked steadily for decades. In his old age, he also pursued painting and sculpture, proving his creativity went beyond acting. He lived to 86, admired as one of Hollywood's most dynamic performers. Mary Pickford, nicknamed America's Sweetheart, was one of the most powerful women in early Hollywood. A silent film superstar, she co-founded United Artists and the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. She became an international icon with films like Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm and Pollyanna. In her later years, she retired from acting but remained a major figure in film history. She lived to 87, remembered not only as a star but also as a pioneer of the industry. Rod Steiger was an intense method actor who starred in On the Waterfront, Dr. Zhivago, and In the Heat of the Night, for which he won an Academy Award. Known for his ability to fully inhabit complex characters, Steiger earned respect as one of America's most serious performers. In his later years, he continued acting in both big films and smaller projects, leaving behind a career of over 100 credits. He passed away at 77, admired for his craft and commitment. Kathleen Turner became one of the most iconic actresses of the 1980s, known for her husky voice and sultry presence. She starred in Body Heat, Romancing the Stone, and voiced Jessica Rabbit in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Turner also proved her dramatic skill in films like Peggy Sue Got Married. In her later years, she faced health struggles but continued acting in theater and television, admired for her resilience and strong personality. Sam Peckinpah was one of the most influential film directors of the 20th century, known for his revisionist westerns and groundbreaking style. His film, The Wild Bunch, redefined cinema with its gritty violence and moral complexity. Peckinpah also directed Straw Dogs and Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. Though controversial, his films changed how action and realism were portrayed. He died at 59, leaving a legacy that shaped generations of filmmakers. Norma Shearer was one of MGM's biggest stars of the 1920s and 1930s. She earned an Academy Award for The Divorcee and was celebrated for portraying independent, modern women. Married to studio executive Irving Thalberg, she became known as the First Lady of MGM. In her later years, she retired from acting but was remembered as a trailblazer who helped change Hollywood's portrayal of women. She lived to 71, respected as both a star and a pioneer. Robert Mitchum became one of the definitive tough guy actors of Hollywood. Known for his laconic style and cool demeanor, he starred in film noirs like Out of the Past and thrillers such as Cape Fear. He also appeared in westerns and war films, earning a reputation as one of the most versatile leading men. In his later years, he continued acting, often playing elder statesman roles that showcased his gravitas. He passed away at 79, remembered as one of Hollywood's most iconic and enduring actors. Walter Matthau became one of Hollywood's most beloved comic actors, known for his grumpy charm and perfect timing. He starred in The Odd Couple alongside Jack Lemmon, a partnership that lasted decades, and also shown in The Fortune Cookie, winning an Oscar, Grumpy Old Men, and Hello, Dolly. In his later years, he leaned into elder comedic roles, becoming a fan favorite for portraying lovable curmudgeons. He passed away at 79, remembered as a comedy legend with a warm humanity beneath the sarcasm. Lee Marvin built his reputation as one of Hollywood's toughest actors. With his rugged voice and intimidating presence, he starred in The Dirty Dozen, Point Blank, and Cat Ballou, the last of which earned him an Academy Award. Marvin often played anti-heroes and soldiers, embodying gritty realism. In his later years, he worked steadily in action and Western films until his death at 63. His legacy as a tough guy icon remains strong. Eleanor Parker was one of Hollywood's most versatile actresses, earning 3 Academy Award nominations in the 1950s. She played the Baroness in The Sound of Music, but had already built a long career in dramas like Caged and Interrupted Melody. Known for disappearing into roles, she was sometimes called the Woman of 1,000 Faces. In her old age, Parker lived privately but was respected as one of the finest talents of her generation. Woody Allen is one of the most influential filmmakers in American cinema, blending comedy, romance, and philosophical themes. He directed and acted in films such as Annie Hall, Oscar winner, Manhattan, and Hannah and Her Sisters. Known for his neurotic on-screen persona, Allen became a cultural figure as much as a director. In his later years, he continued to make films almost annually, admired for his productivity and unique voice in cinema, despite controversies in his personal life. Donald Pleasance was an English actor whose career spanned more than 4 decades. He gained fame with roles in The Great Escape and You Only Live Twice, but became a pop culture icon as Dr. Loomis in the Halloween horror series. Pleasance was known for his distinctive voice and ability to bring depth to both villains and heroes. In his later years, he continued acting in films and television until his death at 75, leaving behind a vast legacy of memorable performances. Sid Charisse was one of Hollywood's most dazzling dancers, starring in MGM musicals alongside Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire. Films like Singin' in the Rain and The Bandwagon showcased her elegance and unmatched dance ability. In her later years, she focused on television and live performances, remaining active in the entertainment world. She lived to 86, admired as one of the greatest dancers ever to appear on screen. Jack Palance became known for his menacing looks and powerful performances. He earned early fame with Shane and later delighted audiences with his Oscar-winning role in City Slickers, famously doing one-handed push-ups on stage at the Academy Awards. In his old age, he enjoyed a resurgence as a character actor, proving his charisma never faded. He lived to 87, remembered for his toughness and surprising humor. Rita Moreno is one of the few performers to achieve the EGOT, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. She won her Academy Award for West Side Story, 1961, and went on to build a career spanning over 70 years. Moreno broke barriers for Latin actresses in Hollywood, paving the way for future generations. In her later years, she starred in the Netflix revival of One Day at a Time and appeared in West Side Story 2021. At 92, she remains a vibrant icon and pioneer. John Gielgud was one of Britain's greatest classical actors, renowned for his Shakespearean performances on stage. He also built a distinguished film career, appearing in Arthur, Gandhi, and Beckett. Gielgud was admired for his commanding voice and dignity. In his old age, he continued acting, even winning an Academy Award for Arthur at 77. He lived to 96, honored as one of the last great knights of the stage and screen. Brigitte Bardot became a French and global icon in the 1950s and 1960s, starring in And God Created Woman and redefining sensuality in cinema. Her beauty and style influenced fashion and culture worldwide, making her one of the most photographed women of her era. In her later years, Bardot retired from acting and dedicated her life to animal rights activism. Now in her 90s, she is admired not only as a screen legend, but also as a passionate advocate for wildlife. George Sanders was famous for his smooth, sardonic voice and sophisticated villain roles. He won an Academy Award for All About Eve and appeared in classics such as Rebecca and Foreign Correspondent. Sanders also voiced Shere Khan in Disney's The Jungle Book. Despite his professional success, his later life was troubled, and he died at 65. Still, his performances made him one of Hollywood's most distinctive character actors. Mae West became one of the most controversial and iconic figures of early Hollywood. With her sharp wit and bold personality, she challenged censorship with films like She Done Him Wrong and I'm No Angel. West was a pioneer for sexual independence on screen, often writing her own scripts. In her later years, she continued performing on stage and became a pop culture symbol. She lived to 87, remembered as one of Hollywood's most fearless trailblazers. James Cagney electrified audiences with his energetic performances, often playing gangsters and tough guys. He became famous for The Public Enemy and later won an Academy Award for Yankee Doodle Dandy. Known for his versatility, Cagney could move seamlessly from crime dramas to musicals. In his later years, he retired to a quiet life on his farm, but occasionally returned to acting. He lived to 86, leaving behind a legacy as one of the greatest actors of Hollywood's golden age. Clara Bow was the ultimate symbol of the 1920s jazz age, famously known as the original It Girl. She starred in It and Wings, becoming one of the biggest stars of the silent era. Her vibrant personality made her a cultural phenomenon. With the arrival of sound films, she struggled with the transition and retired early. She lived quietly until passing away at 60, remembered as one of cinema's first true megastars. Peter Ustinov was an English actor, writer, and director known for his intelligence and humor. He won 2 Academy Awards for Spartacus and Top Copy, and became beloved worldwide for his portrayal of Hercule Poirot in several Agatha Christie adaptations. Ustinov was also a humanitarian, serving as a UNICEF ambassador. He lived to 82, admired as a man of wit, wisdom, and immense talent. Jane Powell was a singing and dancing sensation during MGM's golden musical era. She starred in 7 Brides for 7 Brothers and Royal Wedding, showcasing her soprano voice and charm. Although musicals declined in popularity, Powell continued performing on stage and television. In her later years, she embraced a quieter life, but remained admired as one of the last surviving stars of Hollywood's musical era. She lived to 92, a symbol of classic Hollywood elegance. Mickey Rourke rose to fame in the 1980s with films like 9½ Weeks and Angel Heart, admired for his raw charisma and intensity. After a troubled career path that included a detour into professional boxing, he made a triumphant comeback with The Wrestler, 2008, earning an Oscar nomination. Known for his unpredictable life and unique screen presence, Rourke continues to act, remembered as one of Hollywood's most enigmatic figures. Harold Lloyd was one of the great silent film comedians, alongside Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. Famous for his daredevil stunts, especially the iconic clock tower scene in Safety Last, Lloyd embodied optimism and determination. Unlike many silent stars, he retired early and lived comfortably from his investments. He lived to 77, remembered as the third genius of silent comedy whose films still inspire laughter today. Isabelle Adjani is one of France's most acclaimed actresses, known for her intensity and haunting beauty. She won 5 César Awards, a record, for performances in Possession, Camille Claudel, and La Reine Margot. Adjani became an international star while maintaining her roots in French cinema. In her later years, she continues to take selective roles, admired as one of the greatest actresses Europe has ever produced. Gary Cooper epitomized the strong, silent hero of classic Hollywood. With films like High Noon, Sergeant York, and Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, he became one of the most respected actors of his era. Known for his natural style and quiet dignity, Cooper won 2 Academy Awards. He died relatively young at 60, but his image as the quintessential American leading man remains timeless. Jean Reno is a French actor who achieved international fame with Léon, The Professional. Known for his deep voice and stoic presence, Reno has appeared in Ronin, The Da Vinci Code, and Mission Impossible. His career bridges French cinema and Hollywood, making him one of the few European actors to achieve true worldwide recognition. In his later years, he continues to work steadily, admired for his versatility and enduring charisma. Claudia Cardinale is an Italian actress who became an international star in the 1960s, appearing in The Leopard, Once Upon a Time in the West, and 8½. Known for her beauty and strength, she often played independent, spirited women. In her later years, she dedicated herself to humanitarian causes, especially women's rights. Cardinale remains one of Italy's most iconic actresses, with a career spanning over 6 decades. James Whitmore was a respected character actor with a career in film, television, and stage. He earned acclaim for Battleground and Give 'Em Hell, Harry, but became best known to modern audiences for his touching role as Brooks in The Shawshank Redemption. In his later years, he continued to act and perform one-man shows, admired for his warmth and humanity. He lived to 87, leaving behind a legacy of integrity and artistry. Annette Bening has built a distinguished career with films such as American Beauty, The Grifters, and 20th Century Women. Known for her intelligence and emotional depth, she has received multiple Academy Award nominations. In addition to acting, she has been active in arts education and social causes. In her later years, Bening continues to challenge herself with complex roles, admired as one of America's most respected modern actresses. Bette Midler, known as the Divine Miss M, is a powerhouse singer, actress, and comedian. She broke through with her musical performances in the 1970s and transitioned into films like The Rose, Beaches, and the beloved cult classic Hocus Pocus. Midler has won multiple Grammy, Emmy, and Tony Awards, making her one of the most versatile entertainers of her generation. In her later years, she continues to perform on stage and screen, admired for her wit, larger-than-life personality, and lasting influence on music and film. Alan Arkin built a career on versatility, moving effortlessly between comedy and drama. He starred in The Russians Are Coming, Wait Until Dark, and later won an Academy Award for Little Miss Sunshine at age 72. Known for his dry humor and understated acting style, Arkin became a favorite character actor in his later years, appearing in Argo and the series The Kominsky Method. He lived to 89, leaving behind a body of work that spanned over 6 decades.